Hello and welcome to the Below the Double Yellow Cup Series live tonight from Iowa for the KHIO 150, race number 3 of the chase, race 15 of this season. And they're racing it up here in the Midwest, the 7/8 of a mile, D-shaped oval here in Iowa, one of my favorite tracks. And I'm joined in the booth tonight by Alec Martinez. Alec, how are we feeling about tonight's race here in the chase at Iowa?
Well, I'm excited. We haven't really been to a short track in some time. In Iowa, one of the unique short tracks, we just saw it. We were talking about it before we got going, is the Cup race here and Xfinity race here. Obviously, they don't have the new repaved surface like they do in real life, but it's the old surface, and I think that's going to provide, hopefully, some very entertaining racing. The track temp's very hot, 126 degrees, so I think we'll be seeing slipping and sliding. And I tell you what, man, Seth Hatchell, he's been hot. I think that's going to be the guy tonight to beat. We looked at IRP, the All-Star race, kind of similar to this track in the way it's old, it's worn out, except there's no tire conservation really more than anybody else. But I think that's going to be something we have to look forward to. I think this is a race, especially with Jeff Fright leading the points. Jeff is slowly but surely losing that points lead every week, and he's got to get it together.
Yeah, it is. It's getting closer and closer at the top of the standings, and let's take a look at those points as they enter into tonight's race. You mentioned Seth Hatchell. He got his third victory of the season last week there at Chicagoland in a dominating performance, and he moves to second in points, just 5 behind the points leader Jeff Wright with his 4 victories. So definitely closing up here as we're getting closer to the end of the season. It is tight amongst the top, really the top 6 or 7 in the standings, right? You could kind of
In the top 9.
really, yeah. Pretty much everybody up until Chris Samard maybe about 52 points back. Could be a little bit too much of a hurdle to try and climb to get up there to fight for the championship, but it is still close amongst these chase competitors, and it has been an exciting season so far, and I think we're going to see more of that here tonight at the short track in Iowa. But this is definitely one of my favorite tracks, and we'll see how these guys cope with the all the different grooves and the different way around this place.
I know it's one of your favorite tracks. I know that, and I hated losing to you every week we came to Iowa. But this track is so unique. The bumps, especially in 1 and 2, even with the repave in real life, the bumps were still an issue. And I think with the old surface, bumps are for sure going to be an issue here tonight. You know, it's going to be interesting to see what happens, and it's going to be able to keep it together. Oh, Dennis Fairclough spun in the inside wall, but AJ Stravato, this track I feel like could fit into his wheelhouse a little bit. And wow, how about that? Seth Hatchell, 13th on the board.
Yeah, not gonna be his best qualifying
Right on the
effort.
pole.
Yeah, Jeff Wright goes to the top. Looks like we got Stravato coming out of turn number 4 across the start finish line. Let's see what he's able to do. He'll go to 6th. How about Dallas Sullivan in
Dallas,
P3?
yeah, what a qualifying effort for the 46. That's going to be his best starting spot of the year, I think.
There goes Bailey Turner up to the 2nd spot. Looking at Angelo Ronis. We were looking at him for a second there, but he was fastest in the practice session. And Angelo, I think looking for that elusive points-paying win.
Well, he's gotten it. He's gotten it.
He did get it. Okay.
Yeah, got it in Martinsville last year.
Oh, so that's right. Yeah.
He got his first win, and like we say, he's always good on the non-points paying races. But Angelo's been quiet but steady all year, and he's been really, really good. So I do like watching how good he's been in his progression over seasons. I know, obviously, with the Xfinity car, he's been pretty good. Gen 4 seems to suit him a little bit better, but the Xfinity car seems to suit his driving style a little bit better as well, and that's going to improve him a little bit, but he stays 5th.
Yeah, and
but
another
Jeff Wright, Bailey Turner.
Another driver, not the best qualifying effort after a really good practice session, is Brody Hayes. He's looking to be 12th on the charts here.
Wow.
But yeah, Seth Hatchell, slowest of the qualifiers. Not sure. It must have been a mistake on the lap there.
He got very loose on his lap from what I saw, and he tried to slow it down to not get across the line, and he locked it up and just slid the nose over, which pretty much killed both laps.
Yeah, that is tricky to do here. That 4th corner, the start-finish line kind of comes up on you there as you exit the turn, and that wall as well. If you make any slight mistake, you're in the wrong groove, or you just get a little bit too. Yeah, here comes Jeff Wright, maybe practicing a little pit entry. Looking at tonight's race analysis, it is 150 laps here, just over 130 miles in total distance, 7/8 of a mile here at Iowa. Pit road speed 50 miles an hour. They do have 5 sets of tires, which will be important with the surface as it is, right? I think tire wear is going to be important as these guys go about the race. 3 green, white checkers, 80% fuel load, and fixed setup. And again, this is chase race 3 of 8, race 15 of 20 on the season. But it's going to be a challenge tonight. I mean, Chicagoland, a challenge last week, completely different type of challenge than this one. But this track presents a lot of different opportunities for passing and running different lanes and conserving your tires or burning your tires. So it is definitely going to make for a fun race tonight. Is there anybody you want to pull into the booth here before we get rolling here tonight?
How about we pull up Jeff Wright? Well, he's on the pole, right? Might as well.
Yeah, looks like it.
Get him my hair. Ah, there he is. Jeff Wright, Alec Martinez, Zeta Baker in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy, buddy?
I got you.
Well, brother, you'll be leading us to green here when we get going. You get another pole in the season. Seth, your closest rival in or at least in points, qualifies 19th. How are you? What are you looking forward to in this race as we go on and tackling 150 laps of racing here?
Yeah, just trying to stay out of trouble. Also take care of the tires tonight. In practice, it looks like the right front tire really wears a lot, so we're gonna have to be really careful with that, not to burn that off. And yeah, got the pole to start, so couldn't start the race off better, having the first starting spot and a good pit stall too. Number 1 pit stall here usually is pretty helpful as well. So we're just going to try to capitalize. Obviously, Seth looks like he struggled a little bit there in qualifying. So right now, I think he's, like 5 points or so behind us. So I'm sure he's going to be up here towards the end of the night. But definitely, this is a good start for us.
For sure. Well, we appreciate your time. I know you're from Nebraska, Iowa, kind of a home track. I know you're not a Hawkeyes fan, I don't think. You're more.
Oh, absolutely not, Alec.
Man, but
yeah, absolutely.
Hey,
but
well,
yeah, great facility here at Iowa. We were here just not too long ago. So we'll see if we can get it done here at the Iowa Speedway tonight.
For sure. Well, we appreciate your time, Jeff. Good luck, and maybe we'll be talking to you at the end of this thing.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, Alec.
I see it.
It is.
It's Jeff Wright, pole sitter.
Yeah.
And I'm curious, will we see moving around, Adam? That's what I wondered. We talked about the new updated dynamic track. Will we be able to see guys moving around all over this racetrack, especially in 3 and 4? I don't see it as much as 1 and 2, but definitely 3 and 4.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be possible. I mean, there's lots of different ways around this track in general. Whether or not the dynamic track keeps up with that will remain to be seen. But definitely different ways around the corners, and some of these drivers will be able to make it work whether or not the track keeps up with them. But Jeff Wright, fastest in qualifying. Bailey Turner going to be joining him on the front row. So the 24 and the 48 going to get things going for us here tonight at Iowa. In row number 2, it'll be Adam Cabot, the Magic Man, looking for another victory on the season. Noah Mikowski going to be starting from the 4th position as well. Rolling off from the 5th spot, it'll be Angelo Ronis and Dallas Sullivan. Great starting spot in the 6th position. Starting in 7th, it'll be Keith Mayato and Ray Massey going to be starting in the 8th position. Pulling off from 9th, it's going to be AJ Stravato, and rounding out the top 10, Cody Adkins in the number 55 machine.
11th is Dennis Fairclough. 12th, Brody Hayes. 13th, Alan Dice. 14th, Caleb Weekly. Then Chris Samard. Max Koss at 15th and 16th. 17th, Timmy Emanuele. Nathan Ostrowski going to be 18th. Seth Hatchell will be 19th. Justin Carey 20th, and Todd Giles Jr. rounds out the field. 25 cars, and you can still give us the pace lap here. Is a short pace lap. Adam, I got to ask you, who's your pick in this race?
Oh man, I'm trying to think about who I've raced against here. Then I know has the speed. I know AJ Stravato didn't get maybe his best qualifying effort, but he, from what I recall, this is a track that really suits his driving style. You called him out earlier. I'm gonna go with AJ Stravato, the Italian Stallion tonight.
Italian? Okay, I like it. I know Jeff's gonna be tough to be out there. I think Bailey Turner is somebody you got to watch out for. I think we're kind of underestimating Adam Cabot a little bit. I think he's gonna be something that this race fits into. But I call me crazy, but how hot he's been the last couple of weeks, ever since that All-Star race in a track where it had tire wear. I think Seth Hatchell, I think he's going to have another statement victory. If he can win this race, I think Jeff Wright's going to be shaking in his boots. I think Seth Hatchell, he's looking to be 3-time, and I have not seen him be this competitive for a championship, this drive. I think Seth Hatchell's going to find a way to get this race.
I don't think that's a bad choice. He was going to be my other selection there, but here we go. Pace cars in. Green flag is out. We're off and away from Iowa for the KHIO 150. Good battle down into turn number 3. It's Jeff Wright and Bailey Turner. They are locked door to door right now out of the corner. Looks like maybe an advantage to the 24.
It's interesting about Iowa. The bottom lane's good for saving tires, but if you can hook that top lane good, pin the guy in the bottom, he's going to not be able to get into the gas before you can, and be able to use that banking, that progressive banking, use the momentum. And right now, Bailey Turner's doing a good job. These two can't afford to burn tires up. As you can see, Wright slides up the track, and now he's on the inside. No arrow going to get to that side, no side force. And this time, I think Turner's going to lead another lap, but into one, Wright's going to have the advantage, especially on the bottom, but Turner pins him down, especially that bump right there, middle of the corner. It's hard to get back on the gas.
Yeah, and the way through those bumps that I've seen in the past, right, if you enter just about a half groove higher and you're able to cut down through the bumps, you can get a little bit more rotation out of the car. But Jeff Wright being pinned down like this, he's not really able to do that. Now has a little bit of a better drive off 4 than he has had, and he'll get the advantage at the stripe there to lead lap number 3, but Bailey Turner doing everything he can to stay alongside.
Wow. Looks like a fight for clean air, really, and these two are going at it. Adam Cabot, Noah Mahalski making contact off of 2. How about Mahalski in the 03 having some pace already up to the top 3? It seems like the short track's fitting into the style of the 03, and the Advanced Auto Parts Chevrolet goes to 3rd. And I don't know if you remember when we were the Real Cup Series at Iowa, the Advanced Auto Parts car ended up winning.
That is true. Yeah, he's got AutoZone on the front of his car.
I'm dumb. I am dumb. Never mind. Well, it was an auto parts store.
It wasn't.
My apologies.
I actually,
I
I didn't.
thought it was Advanced Auto Parts for whatever reason. And then I looked and like, oh wait, it's AutoZone.
Yeah, I was gonna agree with you there. Then I'm like, oh, AutoZone. I worked there for a few years, so I should recognize the logo, but I wasn't even paying attention that closely. But yeah, it looks like Wright, little advantage down into turn 1, almost able to clear, but here comes the 24, man, charging back around.
Keeps pinning him down. And he's able to hook the seam on the outside. But I think if Jeff could just put a good set of corners together here, he'd be able to clear. But man, he has really used those tires being pinned on the bottom. Here comes Turner crossing over off of 4, and now the roles are reversed here into 1.
Yeah, and he's got a good drive off the corner. Not gonna be quite alongside just yet. Now sends it down in. Jeff goes really wide on entry. He's gonna get a nice drive off though, and he may be able to complete the pass.
He'll clear him here.
Yeah, able to take the lead away. We've seen some other battling further back. How about Seth Hatchell already up 6 positions, battling with Caleb Weekly now. Cody Adkins right there in front, and then big gaggle of cars behind.
I like what I'm seeing. I'm seeing 3 lanes being used here. I'm loving what I'm seeing. You're seeing guys on the bottom, you're seeing guys in the middle, and then you're seeing guys all the way up on the top, especially in 3 and 4. 1 and 2, you won't see a lot of moving around. You'll see middle lane. We saw Turner utilize it, but I don't know if we're going to see a lot of movement, but especially in 3 and 4. I mean, look at the difference of lanes here. You got some guys bottom, some guys middle, and then even in the back, Faircloth, we always know he's not afraid to get high, wide, and handsome. He's up all the way on the outside lane, getting a big run down the front stretch.
And it's interesting the way this track works now. There goes Faircloth, looking all the way to the bottom now. Big slide down in the corner. Got a little bit too aggressive down into turn number 1, but turns 3 and 4, you used to be able to run right alongside that wall. That was the preferred groove for a long time at this track, and then something changed, and really a lot more grip down low, as the years have gone on. But look at him, big run off the top of turn number 4. He's gonna make contact.
To Dennis Faircloth, and that is the first caution of the day, and that is race over for the 80 and the 5.
Let's take another look at this one. Dennis with the big run off the top, cuts to the underside, but yeah,
just got it in the left rear.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. And then big hit, and oh man,
that's race over for both. I'm afraid, especially Dice. You can see the engine smoke coming out of it. I think Faircloth just misjudged getting to the inside, and that is a hard hit. You don't normally see guys get turned on the front stretch, especially that far down.
Yeah.
And hit that part of the wall. I think the only time I've ever seen that, I mean, in the truck series, I think it's 2011. Believe it or not, it was Trackhouse owner Justin Marks that hit the wall in that angle really, really hard. And now drivers are in an interesting spot here with only 4 sets of tires in the pits. Are you going to pit or are you going to stay out?
It's like Jeff Wright.
Jeff Wright in?
Yeah, he'll be bringing everybody in.
Bringing everybody in, yeah.
I thought he was maybe faking.
A lot. Oh, look at Ostrowski's going to stay out. So is Giles.
Yeah, you know, maybe saving some tires towards the back of the field. Good opportunity to get up to the front now, maybe gain some track position. You might be a little bit off pace compared to these guys, but I don't think it's going to be too much with only 10 laps on the tires. You will definitely be at a
We're seeing
disadvantage.
guys take 2. This is another interesting part. Do the left sides wear enough to? Oh,
Oh,
or excuse me,
oh, Sullivan.
Sullivan missed it.
Yeah, he's still
Still trying
getting,
to get in. He's
yeah,
still trying to get in there.
yeah, getting around that corner there
Oh, look
is,
at Hatchell, 2 tires.
he's going to
That's
try
his way to
it.
get the track position. He's not going to get those 2 out. But a lot of guys taking 2. I think Weekly took 2. Hayes took 2. Or not Hayes, excuse me.
Max
Weekly,
Cost has taken
Cost
2.
took 2, yeah.
So he goes up.
Samard with 2 as well.
Mard, yep. And Justin Carey also with 2 tires. So, yeah, interesting call there. I think it could work out, especially we heard the right front kind of burning up on these cars. The 2 tires
Could loosen it up.
yeah, could give you some good rotation.
Strowski comes in and Giles stays out. So that'll be interesting for this restart here.
So it'll just be the 25 machine, the High Rock Vodka Camaro there, going to lead the field back around. And
His first laps led in his BTDY career, by the way.
yeah, I saw he just joined up either last week or the week before.
Last week, yeah.
Cool to see new guys joining the series and you know, having some good success out here early on. We'll see how he does at the front of the field. This is a new challenge, especially for new driver, maybe not as familiar with all these guys. We'll see what he's able to do, but yeah, Jeff Wright, he'll have to see if he can get a good restart here, and then Bailey Turner's got an opportunity if he can find a way around both of them here. You know, could get back to that lead. And how about, yeah, Seth Hatchell with the 2 tires. This is going to be an interesting restart for sure. We got 4 different kinds of you know, well, I guess 3 different kinds of strategies amongst the top 4.
Yeah, you're going to be very careful. You cannot, I think for Giles here, you got to watch out spinning the tires. Cannot afford to spin the tires, especially if you spin them too much and you take out the front half of the field. Cannot do that. And I'm curious to see how Seth Hatchell going to be on these older tires.
Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on
2 tires, I say.
Yeah, on him, and then the number 63 of Max Cost, who's going to be restarting just outside the top 10 in 11th. He's got 2 tires on it, and then Chris Samard a couple positions behind the 63. Also going to be on those 2 tires, and we'll see if it's actually a benefit as the run progresses, but I think it'll eventually tail off, right? There's always that fall off late in a run, especially with 2 tires. But at the start, they may have a little bit of an advantage even with rotation and getting a little bit more looseness in that car.
Yeah, it'll be tough to see. It'll be interesting to see how does Giles perform on these older tires. Can he keep it going, or will there be an issue for him as we go back to green? He stacks up on the restart. Oh, he gets in it right. Look at this behind him, chaos behind him. They're going to start fanning out here. He's going to be put in the middle here with Bailey Turner. Oh, he's going to sign up in a half. He's going to spin.
He's trying to hang on to it.
Oh, man, Mahovsky gets heavy right front damage.
They all keep it pointed in the right direction, but man, that has really backfired.
That is big. And that's going to be troublesome for the 03 with heavy right front, and it looks like just damage in general, especially in the middle of the hood.
Now, let's take a look at the replay here and just...
And I think Jeff Wright has a penalty for jumping the restart.
Yeah, with the 25 kind of getting into him there, I'm not sure. It kind of shook some things up. So this is the contact with the 03. Yeah, big
that's a
hit.
hard hit, especially to the suspension of the left front.
And 25 was able to keep it straight after all that, which is impressive.
I think Jeff's
but
good. They're saying he's fine. Restart's good because I don't think Giles should have got off on the restart line to get enough.
So Hatchell got hit.
Wow.
And he's into second
He's
now.
Fine. I think him even getting hit, it checked up Turner because the 25 got loose under Hatchell, and now Hatchell's able to kind of stay in second. Yeah, I don't think the 2 tires are going to be good enough when we get going after 20, 30 laps.
Yep.
But he's going to at least, I mean, he's got an amazing gap to third. So even if Turner gets by him, I don't see, I mean, it depends how good he saves tires, obviously. But if he can save his tires, I think Angelo and maybe Cabot, they'll have some form later in the run. But look at Weekly. He's on 2 tires. He stayed up with track position in 6th right now.
Yeah, he's got a good run going here. AJ Stravato right there behind him looks to the top side now through 3 and 4. And looks like he'll get a good run out of the corner. That's going to send the 7 machine back a position. But, yeah, Hatchell, it's worked out so far, that's for sure. And lap time, he's, you know, not far off of Jeff Wright, even without fully clean air. He's only about a half tenth slower on that last lap. So things
And
could.
Jeff's saying, "Oh, what do I got to do to get points on this guy?"
Yeah. When we entered the chase, he had a pretty good margin over Bailey Turner. I think it was it 19 points maybe?
He had didn't he have a 25 point
It may have
advantage
been.
over Seth?
Yeah.
And I tell you what, Seth is, and Bailey as well, they have been eating into that point. So I know Atlanta probably didn't go as planned for Jeff. I mean, Jeff had I think Jeff had an 18-point lead over Turner, and then he had a 18-point lead over Hatchell as well. So both 18 points back. They just they've eaten away at it. They've got it, and especially Hatchell with how consistent he's been the last weeks. There goes Hayes to the inside of Weekly. Hatchell's just been so consistent.
Yeah, and that's kind of been the name of the game for the number 8 machine throughout the years. But he's been able to capture a few more victories, I think, to this point in the season than we've seen, and really just on a hot streak right now.
Momentum's real.
It really is, and he's found the handling that he likes in the car, way of driving it, maybe just the practice throughout the season, but really has picked up the pace across the board. And now we got a battle here. Adam Cabot and AJ Stravato fighting to get into the top 5 or hang on to the top 5. And Stravato,
Cabot way up the track.
Yeah, interesting there.
A big run. Look at that. The run he gets. Might be able to get right back to the bumper of the 33. Going to push him down the front stretch here. And Stravato will get that spot. Maybe Hayes going to follow through here. He's going to try to slide job, and Cabot loses 2 spots. They're surprised. I can see Adam saving tires here. He might be saving tires. But he's fallen 3 seconds behind leader Jeff Wright. If 3 seconds of fall off, can he save that? Is the question, especially if we get longer in this run, or is he just struggling with the handling of that car?
Yeah, not sure. We'll have to see as the run progresses. Noah Mikowski, though, struggling with the damage.
That's unfortunate for him.
Yeah, he had a great start to this one, running in the top 5, and this is falling outside the top 10 now, back to 12th as Samard attempts to complete the pass here into turn number 3. Both Samard and Cost on those 2 tires right around the 03 machine, but it looks like Chris is going to be able to...
It's hurt for sure. The arrow's definitely hurt. The middle of the bumper is cracked. The splitter is bent, and then the right front fender is disconnected from the bumper as well. So that car is definitely not going to be handling well all the rest of this race. Even if he gets it fixed, that car not going to be able to repair all of that. So that's unfortunate. Now I got to wonder, is he running hot with how pushed in the front end is?
Yeah, that could be the case. It is kind of a shorter track, which can lead to those overheating issues. He's not really running directly behind anybody, so that's going to be okay. But you can see just how off pace he is compared to these other guys who are just rolling the top side. Justin Carey right here as well, kind of the last of the lead group in 16th. And got to go back a little ways now to Timmy Emanuele in 17th. Nathaniel Ostrowski is still out here. He did bring it in down pit road, but only at 5.
I don't know if he took tires. Yeah, he took fuel only. So him and Todd Giles Jr., they're still on older tires. They're hoping for a caution here, but this field starting to get a little strung out here. And I'm just, man, that 8 car, dude, he has got speed with 2 tires.
Yeah, and it could be that he's getting a little better rotation, but you can see big push off the corner there, and maybe now that he's within kind of the air bubble of the 48, but he's entering a little bit lower down into the corner, and we'll see if he's able to get some clean air to the nose of that thing, or try to find some way to catch up and attempt to make a pass here. Bailey Turner hanging about 9/10 of a second behind, and then Angelo Ronas kind of all on his lonesome here, 2.1 seconds off of Jeff Wright. And then everything kind of starts right here behind AJ Stravato. You've got Brody Hayes fighting for position with him, and then Caleb Weekly fighting with Ray Massey for 7th position. So that is a couple battles up here in the top 10.
And Seth, I don't see him, especially next week. We talk about Jeff being so good at Sonoma. I don't think I've seen Jeff enough at Watkins Glen to see how good he's been. We know AJ Stravato is going to be really good at Watkins Glen. Keith Maiato, another one that we're seeing that's always been good at Watkins Glen. And look at good battle here. It's for 8th on the racetrack. I don't know.
Yeah, 9th and 10th.
On the racetrack, yeah. And I'm surprised Cabot's fallen off this much. I don't know if he's saving, like I say, could be doing the super save, but surprised at the pace that 17 has. He's just keeps falling back.
Yeah, all the way back to 10th now, and 4.6 seconds off, and lap time, he's about 0.2 of a second per lap slower than Jeff Wright. So he's saving a lot on the front end, but I'm not sure he's going to have, enough extra in those tires to close up and get up there and fight for
Maybe
the
you're
lead.
gonna try to go longer on a, especially with that caution command. Maybe you can try to go longer. Maybe cut this to 1 pit stop or 2 pit stops instead of 3.
Yeah.
That'll be interesting to see if we see guys try to cut this into thirds or cut this in half, or even cut this into fourths. I don't think we'll see fourths, but I think we could see thirds. I think with that caution, we would have seen cut this race into fourth because of the tire fall off already, a second and fall off in 20 laps. So, we're gonna probably get a 50, 60, 70 lap run if this goes green.
It's Dallas Sullivan trying to make up some ground again. Started in the 6th position. Yeah, Justin Carey moving forward a little bit here.
He should find some pace in that 21 car. That the font, RCR font, and big news out of there today.
Yeah.
Gibbs and RCR. So interesting to see what happens with them.
The Gibbs, Gibbs one not as much a surprise right after the leak.
No,
but
news with old Chase Briscoe going there.
But I think that's going to be interesting and definitely, change some things up. We'll see how he does in really an elite, car versus the Stuart Haas equipment that he's been in. We know that Chase Briscoe is a good driver, but we haven't seen him in that level of equipment since he was in the Xfinity Series. So it should be fun to watch.
He was good when he had it, so I think, especially on short tracks and road courses too.
Yeah.
People underrate how good Chase Briscoe is on road courses too. So big opportunity for him, and I think he even said it himself. He can't win in that equipment. He said he might as well hang it up. So interesting to see.
Because out front, Jeff Wright has started to extend the lead. It's about 0.9 of a second over Seth Hatchell, and Bailey Turner starting to close in on the 8. So maybe that's starting to feel.
Hitting that cliff.
Yeah.
I'll tell you though, he's going to be a net gain on track position. Obviously, he was 13th.
Yeah.
At the caution, he's in 2nd, so a net gain of 11 spots, and then even Caleb Weekly, he's still battling with Ray Massey, but he's currently still inside the top 10. So he's doing a good job.
Yeah, really good job by these guys on the 2 tires. Keeping an eye on everybody else moving forward and backwards. No real changes for position, but Ray Massey putting that pressure on Caleb Weekly at the moment, and then Adam Cabot maybe starting to feel some pressure from Chris Samard and Cody Adkins, who have closed in now, trying to break into the top 10. Chris having a pretty good run here on the 2 tires and keeping up with these guys in front of him. There goes Weekly now to the top side and Massey to the bottom.
Massey ran really, really low. Actually hurt his exit there, running too low from the exit, letting the car track up. But I think Weekly is starting to fall off and hit that cliff like Hatchell is, and you can see behind Weekly too as you're on board here with the print shop Ford Mustang, and you can see Weekly struggling. The back end's fishtailing a little bit, but he's doing a good job. He's a good job defending. It seems like the entire teammates, Weekly, Mahalski, and Koss, they're pretty good at defending. I'll give them that. And I know these guys have trouble trying to pass them sometimes, but definitely a really good run from Caleb Weekly. He's having a solid day, and that strategy is going to be good if he can keep, inside the top 10. Himself good on pit strategy. Don't make a mistake here, and I think he'll be looking good as well. Having issues.
Yeah, I think a little connection issue there for the 36. Looks like he's back for the moment, but we lost him for a second. And Samard putting that pressure on the 17. He took a peek down to the inside out of turn number 2, but not able to make it happen that time. And you can see that the 2 tires has changed the dynamic of the handling. When you look at Caleb Weekly, his car is sliding. Everybody else seems to be pushing a little bit as this run goes on. And so we'll see if that is a benefit, late in the run. Sometimes the 2 tires actually kind of come back. I've seen weird things here on iRacing where the 2 tires are maybe good on the short run, bad in the mid run, and then decent on the long run. But Dennis Fairclough
brought it back into pit road. He's fallen 8 laps down. Fairclough's 15 laps. I think he was getting it back on to see what he had. And you can see Dice's car still in pit road, but I think Fairclough back into pit road. I don't know if he's going to call it or not, but he's brought it back in. So 18 cars on lead lap, and Ostrowski's still on old tires. Question, be interesting to see when he brings it in. That old Spice Tony Stewart throwback. He's just struggling. Yeah, I think he's struggling on the pace. Mahalski's obviously with that damage is struggling. He's got Emanuele running him down. This field's still all pretty close together. Weekly now still under pressure here, under fire from Massey, and Massey's finally under him here. 7th here, and be interesting to see if he can Weekly hold on the outside with this. Like I said, 2 tires. Massey sliding around a little bit underneath him, losing that side force.
Yeah, that low exit out of turn number
Oh,
4. It looks like Weekly caught
mistake
the
there. And
wall.
gonna lose a spot. He's gonna lose 2.
Keith Maioto going to try and complete the pass. Not quite clear. Maybe he is now. He
Now he is.
clears him down into turn number 3. 36 of Maioto. Started in 7th, running in 8th. And Keith, one of those guys, really good on the long run. Maybe just conserving a little on the front end here, but we'll see if he can follow the 23 machine if they make some progress. Try and catch up to Brody Hayes, who's still on the back bumper of AJ Stravato for the 5th position.
That Hatchell under pressure from Turner here.
Yeah, and it's interesting these guys running so low on the racetrack and not really running up, you know, the middle groove or higher
It's
on
like
that
the
end.
repave.
It really
But how low
does.
they're running.
Because there is a lot of, you know, potential in the upper grooves in 3 and 4. Not as much down on this end of the track, really. You got to run the bottom over here. But, yeah, this end of the track, you've got kind of, you know, full flexibility to where you want to run. And these guys are just selecting.
Cabby is the only one really high on the racetrack. I mean, him and Samard way up the racetrack. And like you said, 3 and 4. I wonder, they're not really utilizing the entire outside, like in the middle of the corner. They enter very high and then swoop it down, and really cut the corner. He does that even more, and he's seen it in 1 and 2. And we'll see if he doesn't get under Weekly here, but I'm curious to see where he goes. And we'll see him enter. Look at how high he enters the corner. Way up the racetrack, and then middle of the corner. Once he gets past the Iowa sign,
cuts way
he
down.
just dives all the way down.
So I think that's the saving of the tires, right? He's been able to preserve it.
That's gonna really hurt them though.
Yeah, he saved them all. He's going to use them all here in a few laps running that groove. The way he's going through turns 1 and 2 is the way that, you know, I've loved to run those corners. You cut down through the bumps and you can get that car to turn really well. But this end of the track, it tightens up really a lot on the exit of turn number 4. And it could be a real problem with him cutting down that aggressively. As Keith Maioto...
He's there on Hatchell still. They're going to be racing side by side here soon. I think now the 2 tires are falling off. Maioto, I think, is going to get the spot here on Massey. Yeah, Massey just let him go. Cabot's starting to dig right now, but I don't know. I think he gave up too much time. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see. I think we'll probably see these guys go another 30, 40 laps if they really need to. It just depends. How do you want to cut this race up? Because you could probably pit at 75 and maybe go another 75, make it a one-stopper, or you can, like at 100 laps, you can go 50-50. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think it's more of a one-stopper now, but you could pit now and then pit again at 100. But I just don't know if we're going to see anybody do that. Yeah, see? Like it? Could work. You never know. Yeah, Angelo is coming, and so is Stravato and Hayes, Jeff Wright is pulling away. That clean air helped early, and he's got a 2-second gap. Just trying to move around a little bit, yeah. Like that. Six and a half, almost. Max Costa second faster that last lap on fresher tires. Remember, he's going to probably cut it into third, so he'll probably pit again at lap 100, I would think. So he'll go 48 laps, and then he'll go 50 at the end here. So it'll be interesting to see where he's going to cycle out compared to everybody. I think that'll bring it in at around 75 probably. Look at the tire advantage here when he gets by his teammate and Emanuele, who's way up the racetrack. Oh. He needs clean track. If we can get some clean track here, which he now has, he's got about 5-second gap to Justin Carey and the rest of the pack. So if you start putting some clean laps together, he'll start. I think he'll jump everybody here, obviously, but the real key for him is if he can get, say he laps half the field, he gets a caution, he's back in this thing. Yeah, and if they go another 25, I think he will. Depends how much does he fall off as he runs laps. He's got to save tires still. He doesn't have to save as much, but he does still have to save tires. Like that time, 25 to 0.8 of a second faster. It's not bad, but I think he's got to be a little bit faster than that. Maybe if he can get into the 25 O's, still be about a second faster than Jeff a lap. I think he'd be looking good.
Yeah, we'll see if he can kind of find that pace and run consistently, as Cody Adkins has gotten around Chris Samard. That's going to move him up to the 11th position. Caleb Weekly now has fallen back to 10th, so those two tires coming into play for him. But his lap times are pretty similar to the cars around him, so I think everything's stabilized to an extent.
Yeah,
it's
wow.
just maybe not quite as good turn in that car.
Jeff's lap times are really, really good. Looking at it, he's using that outside. His 1 and 2 him and Seth are very even. Very even Seth Hatchell, but in 3 and 4, I mean, he's 2.8 seconds entering turn 3, right? See, as Jeff runs the top, he gives up some time on entry. He actually gives up 3/10 on entry, but on exit, he gets that lead back up to 8/10 and actually gets it up to 9/10. He gains about a 10th almost on the outside.
Yeah, in that lap, he was only about 300ths quicker, in the lap time. But previous to that, he was about a tenth and a half per lap. So he is just
Travato and Mayato are right now the two fast cars. Travato being in 5th. He's only almost 4 seconds. He's starting to move around the racetrack now. This is what I like. I like what I'm seeing is we're seeing guys searching around for grip, searching for some clean air, searching for a way to pass. And I think we're starting to see that as Travato. Very fast the last couple of laps, and still the fastest car on the racetrack right now. He's trying to get around Angelo. He can't burn up his tires too much, but he's working for it.
Yeah, he's closed up. He was about 5-10 car lengths behind before, and now he's right there on the back bumper. Bailey Turner. Yeah, Bailey started to fall off a bit more. Seth running pretty consistent with Jeff Wright. That time actually 2/10 quicker than Wright, but I think maybe, I don't know if Jeff maybe hit a wall there with the tires.
Using that top, yeah. They really lost too much time though, so I don't think it'll be enough to really affect him. Although he's still using it, I like it. He's cleaning it off though. That's the one interesting thing is this race continues to go on. He's cleaning that top off.
Yeah, and
Stravato gonna get to the inside of Ronis here. I think he's gonna get it into one.
yeah, so move the 33 now up to the 4th position after starting in 9th. One of the biggest movers here. I mean, Seth Hatchell up 17 with his strategy and been able to hang on to 2nd throughout this run. But AJ, the 3rd biggest mover in this race. Brody Hayes also.
King.
Yeah, Brody is up 6 spots, and he's starting to close in on these guys as well. He's putting down some nice laps. That time about a 10th quicker than Angelo, and about a 10th quicker than Bailey Turner as well. But Jeff Wright once again back into the 26 flats, and Seth Hatchell right there with him. So Seth has found a little bit more speed as this run has progressed, and he's actually cut a couple tenths back into Jeff Wright.
Yeah, they're kind of trading lap times at the moment. And unfortunately for Max Cost, that tire advantage that he had, he's turning about the same laps as Jeff. So I don't think that tire advantage is going to be enough to help. He's faster than the mid-pack. He'll be in that game as the run goes on, but he's only 2 tenths, 3 tenths. He needs to be about a half a second now, a lap faster,
right,
to really jump everybody.
Starting to close in on other drivers like Dallas Sullivan, Chris Smart, all these guys
that's
who are
going to hurt his lap time more.
Yeah, because they're about a half second a lap slower than the 63, but that's not a huge difference on each end of the racetrack. It's going to be tough for Max to make his way through.
That time he's a half a second faster. That's what he needs to do. Turn now as tires where you got to have 25 5s, probably 25 3s, 4s to really start eating the guy, especially into Jeff Wright's lead to unlap himself.
Yes.
If he can unlap himself, he's going to get a lap on Jeff Wright and Jeff's going to have to do another lap to get around him. Which at that time, then Max will pit again. So he's got to really start cranking out some lap times here.
Yeah, I mean, he's running 25 6s and 7s to the 26 1s and 0s for Jeff Wright. So 3 to 4 tenths per lap. Still a good gain, but like you said, he's got to maybe run a tenth or two quicker than that to really make the most of this strategy. But he's going to make his way by
guys here.
Yeah,
it's going to hurt that lap time.
Yeah, 25.9 that time, right? He should be able to clear Chris through this end of the racetrack, but every time he's got to make a pass, that's going to slow him down a tenth or two. And that's the case for anybody out here racing anybody else. As you get side by side, you're instantly going to lose some time to Jeff Wright. How about AJ Stravato starting to close in on Bailey Turner? These guys about 4 seconds off the 48.
They're starting to follow. I know Hatchell's kind of just left him in the dust right now.
You can see the work in the wheel there on board with AJ Stravato as he was coming off of turn number 2. So these guys, they do not have the security that maybe they had early in the run. They're starting to wiggle a little bit off the
right
corner.
Right rear's starting to burn off a little bit now. Now we're starting to see guys slide around a little bit. Bailey, he looks like a little more tight, where Stravato looks a little bit more on the looser side of things. So, I don't know how much that's going to change. I think in 3 it makes a difference. In 1 and 2 it doesn't really make a difference, but in 3, it's hard to get back into the gas and then kind of get on. If you're having to wait on the throttle, it's going to hurt your entire momentum down the pressures. Where if you can get on the throttle, you're going to have to wheel it, but it kind of helps you carry momentum. And here comes Stravato to the outside here.
And Brody Hayes also starting to make some ground up. Here comes the 41 of Ostrowski.
Oh, contact between Stravato and Turner.
There it is.
Big moment there off 2 for Stravato, and now he's there. And look at these guys behind them. Ostrowski trying to get by all these guys, and Hayes now is closed up to Mayato, and I think Ostrowski probably get to the inside of Stravato here.
Yeah, Ostrowski is 2 laps down, but he's not too far back from getting one of those back. Yeah, and he's got a huge tire advantage, running about 25 5s to these guys 26 2s and 3s. So should be able to make quick work of them, but he's got Bailey Turner right there in front of him, and hard to find some running room here sometimes.
It is, and now Turner's entry is going to be a little bit off to what he wanted, because he had to run the outside. Now it's going to allow Stravato to at least get a chance back at him and get closed up to him, and as Hayes is underneath Angelo Ronis here, now Turner's going to have at least a car in front of him here for probably a little bit of dirty air on the entry of the corner. Stravato going to use that middle lane, nobody up there. Now about Hayes way up the racetrack, trying to get a run on Angelo Ronis. I think he's going to get enough of a run to maybe get to the outside here on the exit of the corner. He does.
And Angelo leaves the door open, and here goes Brody down into turn number
there's
1.
contact to the teammates. Travato trying to move the 24 out of the way.
As this run goes on, more and more battles. Look at the big bobble there from AJ Stravato.
Love that. Love seeing these guys have to work for it and work sawing the wheel back and forth here. This time he's going to get a bigger run. Can he get to the inside here off the exit?
Not quite able to get there, but he's struggling to put the power down out of the corner. It's very different than the 24 who's plowing up the racetrack, right? They're just experiencing completely opposite handling conditions, I think, which is interesting. But
There
that
he
goes,
comes.
yeah.
Oh, he's going to get loose under him. Turner's going to pin him down. Turner, one of the harder passes to get in the entire BTDY Racing Series, and now Travato just can't get the throttle down.
Yeah, I'm not sure how he's going to make this work. You might have to go to pit lane, you know, maybe call it here. It's we're past halfway, you know, maybe.
Yeah, when do you pit here? I think you got to pit soon, right? Or I don't think you want to run out of gas.
Yeah, I think they probably got about 10 more laps of fuel, but they're going to want to maybe bring it in to do a little undercut, potentially, right? As this...
Well, tire advantage is big, I can tell you that.
At least for those first, like, 10 or 15 laps, right? That's really where you're going to get the biggest advantage.
Well,
These guys
has already technically gotten up to ninth.
Yeah,
on the racetrack. He's gotten by Mass. I know his lap time wasn't great, but he's getting by guys, and now he's got some more clean traffic. And Jeff Wright, he's running into traffic.
Yeah, he's going to make his way around Mikowski, who's got the nose damage, and unfortunate way for his race to go after running up there towards the front. Ray Massey's brought it in.
Massey's bringing it in. That might spark everybody coming in.
He'll pit from just outside the top 10, or just inside the top 10, rather. And we'll see how things shake out there. And we'll see if anybody else is going to elect to bring it in. Jeff Wright going to stay out for another lap. He's got the 2 lap machines behind, separating him from Seth Hatchell, who's kept it right
Seth
on.
brings it in?
I mean, he's got those, he's just on 2 tires, right? So he's made really good use of those things.
I think if you're Seth, you probably want to pit when the 48 pits. Then you can measure how much pace do you really have.
AJ Stravato going to give him the bumper down in turn 3.
Your teammates here as well.
He got a good run through turn 4, but
Massey out of pit road.
And here comes Angelo Ronis.
Angelo Ronis, that right there is going to be the big thing.
Caleb
Here comes Wheatley as well.
Samard as well. And there is Justin Carey going to bring it in. So quite a few drivers pulling it down pit road. Jeff Wright all the way up by the wall, though. He's not going to be able to bring it in.
Can't either because there's the 41. 8 stays out another lap. 33, here comes the 33 trying to undercut the 24. Here comes 30, and the 37 gains a whole lot of time on pit road.
Yeah, so Hayes and Stravato going to bring it in, and this is going to be interesting to see how this all shakes out with these guys. About 4 to 5 seconds behind Jeff Wright when they entered the pit lane. You know,
and obviously I believe Max Costa is going to get the lead here. And Wright continues to race the 41, and here comes Hatchell to pit road.
Hatchell brings it in.
I think Jeff's going to have to give up some time here if he wants to pit. Yeah, because he's going to have to let the 41 go by. Because he can't pit when the 41's on the outside. Oh, he's pitting, and now Ostrowski's going to have to find a way around.
So he's going to go to the bottom. Ostrowski up high.
And make a mistake here. There he comes on the pit road. Nice and easy here. Going to have to try to gain as much as he can.
Yeah, nice
He's
job.
in as Hatchell has brought it in. Try to undercut the 48. And there's Hatchell out of pit road as here comes Wright down pit road.
Bailey Turner still on the racetrack, as well as Keith Mayato and Adam Cabot. They're going to be some of the last ones out here. Dallas Sullivan, also Timmy Emanuele and Noah Mikowski, all staying on the racetrack for the moment, but we'll keep an eye. Here comes Mayato.
Turner has fallen, or now, how about Cabot, though? He's 0.2 of a second faster a lap than Turner. He's cut it down to 1.2 seconds, so maybe that tire saving did help the 17, but maybe lost too much. Is Jeff Wright coming out of pit road. Hatchell going to be up at full song here, but I just don't think it's going to be enough to catch the 48. Hatchell's trying.
It's like sliding the back end, too.
Tires here.
Yeah, we'll see. Jeff could have an issue getting up to speed. You never know. Seth is struggling. Yeah, he's struggling a little bit right now. How about Angelo Ronis? Look how much time he gained.
Yeah.
and AJ
And now for
Serrato.
Seth, can he match the pace of the 24, even with older tires, or the 48? Excuse me, with older tires, he's gonna have about what, 68 laps or 72 laps to go on this run.
And
Does he want to cut it in half?
only a lap difference on tires, though. It may not,
With 8
work
cars
out all
pushing up
that
behind
that badly
and
for him.
Koss jumped both of them, so that's going to be a pass for position. And if a caution comes out, top fire from 6th on down is a lap down.
Yeah, Bailey Turner's still out there. Cabot. Here comes Brody Hayes. It looks
Hayes,
like
but Hayes had I
penalty.
believe a penalty. So yeah,
Yeah.
he is 4 laps down. Oh, right in front. Here comes the 17 and 24 in the pit road. Look at those two slide on the pit road.
Yeah, so these
That's
guys are
going to
gonna.
hand the lead to Sullivan, I believe. Yep, Sullivan stays out, and Emanuele stays out. Mahalski still out on there. Oh, Mahalski, big moment there in the corner. I don't know if he looks like still off the pace, but yeah, he's really off the pace.
You think
See
it's
Dallas Sullivan?
possible he has a flat tire? Maybe. I don't know if he's pushed
He
hard
might,
enough.
yeah, he might have a flat tire. It looks like it's on the right front, huh?
Yeah, it would potentially be the
I'm
right
not
front.
sure. Now here comes Dallas to pit road, so that should hand the lead back over to Jeff Wright as Cost has lost positions. That car's starting to fall off, but he's gonna probably bring it in soon, maybe in 10 laps, I would think. So I don't know though, but 10 laps difference is gonna be way different than 40 laps difference.
Right. Yeah. Jeff Wright going to get by Dallas Sullivan, who's brought it in. Timmy Emanuele, the last one, is the last holdout here, and it looks like
I think he's
probably
coming in this time.
got that lap led.
Oh, he's got another one coming in. Wow, he's gonna go 80 laps on fuel, so no doubt in my mind that they can go to the end here on fuel, but tires, if somebody tried to do something out of the ordinary to pit on tires.
Yeah, that would be a big, strategy call to do something like that. It's looked very green so far in this race. Just the one caution between Alan Dice and Dennis Faircloth there early on. But overall, these guys have been racing really cleanly and plenty of room between them for the moment. But that could change as we get later in the run. Things might tighten back up a little bit. But Jeff Wright in that second position, about 3.1 seconds behind Timmy Emanuele, and then Seth Hatchell, who closed the gap up from about 2.5 now down to about 3/4 of a second. But is just trying to maintain right here, I think, maybe save the tires a little bit.
Yeah, we'll see what Bailey Turner's going to be different. He's going to have the freshest tires. Him and Adam Cabot will have the freshest tires than everybody. They're going to, if they can go long, they'll have, a 6, 7 lap or 5 to 10 lap difference compared to most guys. But see if it's going to be enough. Because I think Wright and Hatchell are kind of by themselves on pace. Like I said with Seth Hatchell, next week Watkins Glen, that's definitely a different race, especially with the Xfinity cars. We'll see. Jeff Wright's decent on these road courses, but we'll see it. And I'll tell you what, though, we got some lap traffic coming up here for the 48. Where that first run, he had clean air the entire time. This time he doesn't, and the 39 is one of those cars still staying out on old tires. This will be a pass for the lead, although I think the 39's pit.
Oh, he is.
Oh.
Oh, man. Close call right there, though. Because the 48 has to thread the needle between the two slower cars. Nearly got into the back of Timmy Emanuele. That could have been a big deal. How many times have we seen that 48 leading and something happen? Or the 33, of AJ Servato. We've seen a few times this season. Those guys get collected in incidents that, really...
mishaps.
Max Koss going to get passed up now by Bailey Turner. That is 7th place changing hands. Adam Cabot well behind Bailey as well.
Probably on the saving tires again.
Yeah. Because they went into the pit lane pretty close to each other and exited as well, right around each other. But he's lost a couple of seconds to the 24 machine. Keith Mayato in 6th. Good run for him so far in this one. Keith's had a good chase and up there in the top 5 in points. Does not have a championship here in this league, but many-time race winner and looking to get back into victory lane. It's been a little while for the 36 machine, so not sure he's going to have it here tonight. He's 7 seconds behind at the moment, but anything could happen. Let's put pressure on Ray Massey right now. That's the battle for 5th.
And the 24 is coming.
Yeah, he is flying right now compared to these guys, about 3 or 4 tenths, or even more than that, faster than Ray Massey. As the 36 Mayato goes on by, he'll get to 5th. And Bailey now sets his sights on the 23 machine. And this is not what he wants, right, to be checked up like this. But he's,
Yeah.
you know, I'm
Good
looking.
pace. No.
He was 11 seconds behind before, but that may have been behind Timmy Emanuele.
I just think the tires will even out. That was the issue.
Right. He's about 0.3 quicker than Jeff Wright at the moment, but it's going to take 25 laps at that kind of pace at the very least, right, to get there. Yeah. And then passing him is another thing. We got 50 laps to go in this race, though, and Jeff Wright out in front has dominated to this point. He's led 83 out of the first 100. I think that 84.
Bailey fell to what? Or he stayed in 3rd, but he's fallen back to 5th. The guys he was racing, Stravato, Ronis, they're about 2.5 seconds up the road. And I know Bailey's got fresher tires. I'd be interested to see if he can run them down and get by them. But I think this is going to be, you know, in 15, 20, maybe like 30 laps, I would say. The tires probably start evening out here.
Yeah, he's got the advantage on the front end of the run. 5-lap tire advantage over Jeff Wright. But, yeah, I don't know how that's going to work out at the very end of this race. If he's even going to be within striking distance of the race lead. But we'll have to see how things shake out. As they run right now, we're going to go to a quick side-by-side commercial break. We'll be right back with the green flag action.
Sailor Tarot Magic is the spot to get a reading from Sally, an intuitive healer and tarot reader. Known as the Nurturing Reader at New Jersey street fairs, you can also check out her YouTube channel for lunar and astro readings, as well as her Instagram for live weekly readings. Her rates are affordable, and you will leave with a newfound perspective. Sally is now offering an introductory class on tarot cards and intuition, and is available for parties. Call or text 732-314-0777 to schedule your reading today.
We're back at the racetrack now. The KHIO 150 from Iowa Speedway. And it is still Jeff Wright out in front, leading the way. Seth Hatchell about 1.1 seconds behind. AJ Stravato's taken over the 3rd position. Angelo Ronis holds on to 4th, and Bailey Turner trying to close in. He's up to the 5th spot, but not making up as much ground as he probably would like at this point in the run. But Jeff Wright, dominating performance so far in this one. We'll see how things go for the last 40 laps as he tries to maintain this lead over Seth Hatchell, the top 2 in the standings. But
Yeah,
yeah,
top two running top two.
yeah, it's been an interesting race. I mean, again, one of these like very clean and green races we see from BTDY pretty often this season. I think last week at Chicagoland, I don't know how many cautions you guys ended up having there, but I don't think it was many. And we've had multiple races this season
We
that have
didn't
gone.
have a single caution in
Yeah.
Chicago this week, so we've only had one, and it was very early in this race. So
Yeah.
Max Cost has brought it back down to pit lane to see where he'll be able to do. He's obviously, everybody else I think has made their final pit stops. Cost being the final car to make a pit stop. So
Yeah, so he is 2 laps down at the moment.
he won't win, but we'll see if he can maybe get himself a top 15, top 10. 2 laps down though.
Yeah, but he's got pretty good tire advantage over the rest of the field, more than we thought he might, because he stayed out that little bit extra. But it'll be about 35 laps for him to try and get up there into the top 10 and get a solid finish out of this thing. Got to get one of his laps back before he does that. Jeff Wright out in front.
About Bailey Turner's tires evening out as well. It looks like they're starting to even out because Ken's faster than Angelo, but he's now even with Jeff and Seth and Stravado.
Yeah, both the 8 and the 33 a little bit quicker than the 48 last time around, but we'll see what they look like at the stripe here. Yeah, Jeff once again a little bit quicker. Hatchell and Stravado almost dead even with their lap times. As Cost starting to close in on the 8, so he should be able to drive on by. We'll see which way he elects to go. But you can see just the tire advantage right there, able to just cut down the racetrack and should be able to get by here down into turn number 1 on his way back to getting a lap back. We'll see if anybody else likes to bring it down pit road. I think we saw another driver pit early. Maybe that was Ray Massey.
Yeah, he's
to everyone else.
Kind of struggling here. He's got older tires than everybody. He's got a 4-second gap to Weekly, so I don't know if he'll be having to deal with him at any time. But I will say Cody Atkins is running down Weekly. Samard's kind of running down Cody a little bit. Terry's a little bit off of them, and Dallas Holden with the fresh tires in the top 15. Or excuse me, Emmanuel has fresh tires, but he's a lap down, unfortunately. And Dallas, last car on the lead lap, is slowly but surely running Terry down.
Yeah, so could have some battles here right around the tail end of the top 10 or right outside the top 10 by the end of this race. Bailey Turner almost there to Angelo Ronis. That gap just about 2 car lengths as they cross the stripe here. Lap 117 on the board. Running out of time to make up ground. He's gained about a second overall on the 48 machine, but since before the pit stops, right, he was running in third, and this is not a net gain to this point, but should be able to get up there and battle with the 33 of AJ Stravado before it's all said and done.
We'll see. I think Angelo's not going to be an easy pass, so we'll see.
Yeah, what a good race from him. Really up here in the top 5 pretty much all night, minding his own business and that competitive pace to the leaders all race long right now. Just trying to hang on to a top 5. Adam Cabot is starting to make up some ground. He's picked up the pace.
So I think he could. He's just got to probably worry about the 17. He's faster than Keith, but Keith also has fresher tires. So interesting to see here if he loses a spot to the 36 and the 17.
Yeah,
he's starting to fall to Keith, and Keith's kind of starting to fall back to Adam here.
Yeah, so Bailey able to get on through. He'll take the 4th position away and set his sights on a podium finish and try and track down AJ Stravado, who again, one of the biggest movers in this race, 6 positions gained. Got to give a shout out to Justin Carey. He's up 8 spots after starting shotgun on the field. He's up to the 12th position, so having a good solid race so far.
Oh, Cody Atkins and Caleb Weekly almost got into each other off of 4th. A couple spots ahead of Carey, about spots ahead. Oh, Cody sliding into the corner. He's over that bump. They're going to hit each other a little bit. Speaking of cautions, this where these guys are racing could be one.
Yeah.
The tire advantage for Cody is pretty big here. They're running up on a Ostrowski, who has older tires and is a lap down.
But Weekly is not giving it to him, and they are going to be nearly touching doors out of turn 4.
Caleb Weekly is not a hard pass. I've noticed that all my time of broadcasting BTDY. And right there, almost leaning on each other again. Both really, really pushing their cars hard. Ostrowski's gonna look out for a second, or I think it was Weekly, but now Weekly on the outside is hard for Atkins to probably slide up because he's not going to have the momentum on the exit of the corners.
Yeah, he's just going to struggle to complete that pass. That's going to also bring Chris Samard in as he's tracking these guys down. And look at...
Oh, Cody sliding.
He is sending it down into turn 1.
I see what Cody's trying to do. He's trying to pin him behind the 41.
The track's so wide, though. I mean, Caleb should be able to find some avenue around, but yeah, he's going to get that dirty air.
Pin him on a straightaway. Like right here, if he can get under and pin him behind the 41 on the entry here. Oh my goodness, that 7 is wobbling.
Yeah, and then
Caleb's really, really high, especially for turn 1.
it's working for him so far, though. I mean, the 55.
Yeah.
Oh! Wow.
55 might get him here.
Yeah, he really, really ran him up the track there.
Oh yeah, he's gonna pin him right behind the 41. That's exactly what he's trying to do. He's trying to set up here. Now Weekly's gonna go to the middle here, but he's gonna lose that spot to the 55 of Cody Atkins.
Yeah, and Cody.
Oh, Weekly sliding up. Almost got into the 41.
Wow. I don't know if this battle's over yet. I mean, Caleb looks like he put the power down.
I think the tire disadvantage here for the 7's probably not going to be good. Cody doing a good job using the lap car, and Keith Maiato, Angelo Ronas battling here for 5th, and I think Keith Maiato's going to be able to get around him, and I think Ronas is going to lose another spot to Adam Cabot.
And not the way that Angelo wanted this final run to go after running in the top 5 all race. Could see himself fading as far back as about 7th here, as there goes Cabot now to the outside. Not even going to be a challenge. He should be able to complete down here into turn number 1. And he will. So Angelo Ronas is going to lose another position. He'll fall to 7th. Cabot promoted up to 6th and trying to track his way into the top 5. Keep an eye on this battle.
Got enough, I think, to get here, or to get to Turner, I think. Or if he's going to get to Maiato, I think he might have something for Turner here. They're just tracking a little bit faster, lapping a little bit faster, I should say. See his right. There's almost closing up to 23 to go here. Right? Brett's doing a good job here.
Yeah, and that is Brody Hayes, not too far up in front. That is Seth Hatchell's teammate, but you know, Brody with the speeding penalty, 2 laps down in 17th. Again, not the way he wanted this race to go. This could be kind of the final nail in the coffin, you know, for championship hopes for the 37 machine. He's had such a strong season, has not found victory lane, but especially in those first 5 or 6 races, I think he had about 3 or 4 runner-ups. So he's been knocking on the door, and even in this race had a strong run going, but not the mistake that he needed there. Max Koss has gotten...
He's back on the track. 5, all repaired.
Wow.
Oh, nice, back on the track. How about that?
That thing looks pristine. You would never know he's slammed headfirst into the wall.
125 laps down, or 112 laps down, but he's out there.
He can actually gain a position on Dennis Faircloth, who is only 9 laps you know, less down than the 5 machine.
Yeah, Dennis is still in the pit, so I think he might be able to get maybe Giles Jr. and get Faircloth there, because they're out of the race sitting in the garage.
Yeah, it'll be a close one there for Allen. He can gain a couple points. You know, they're still fighting for the 13th position in the standings as well. There's a big payout for that. But the top 12, the chase drivers coming into this one, you know, they're all fighting for the championship. Jeff Wright and Seth Hatchell are at the top of those standings. And then you've got Bailey Turner, who is 3rd, not too far behind the 8 machine. And it's looking like we may end up seeing the top 3 in the standings finish top 3 in this race. But AJ Stravato doing everything he can to hang on here in the podium.
Yeah, Stravado's probably not going to make sure. He's probably going to make sure that doesn't really happen. So we'll see though. But hey, AJ's doing a good job. Hats off to him and the 33 team for doing such a good job. Bailey Turner in 4th. He's trying to run the 33 down, but I think his lap time's starting to fall off. And 36 doing a good job holding off to 16 here. Now about Chris Samard, Caleb Weekly going out of here for 10th.
Yeah, Weekly was actually putting a pretty good fight with the 55 of Cody Atkins. He didn't really lose much ground.
Running them down.
Yeah. Yeah, some good groups of race cars kind of, you know, closing in here towards the end of this race. Look at that big pack right there. Max Kost, he's able to take a spot away from Nathaniel Ostrowski.
Justin Carey in there.
Yeah, Justin Carey is is about a lap ahead of the 63 machine.
That's all ahead of Jeff Wright. Dude, Jeff Wright's right there as well.
Yeah.
It's going to be enough to slow him up to Seth Hatch. I don't know. I think the tire advantage there is going to be probably pretty big for Jeff. I don't know if it's one lap, but that's an amount of pace here. Zamard to the inside here. And whole field hoping for a caution to get back into this thing. I know Jeff not wanting a caution, obviously, because he's got a 3-second lead.
Yeah, he's got a pretty good gap.
Second.
Hatchell's basically at the same distance he was before the pit cycle started. The things have not really changed there. He's got the 1-lap tire disadvantage. As how about Caleb Weekly hanging on right now, able to hold off Chris Samard for those couple laps. This is a battle to get into the top 10.
Chris is not going to let him go easy, and it might make a mistake out of Weekly to really get by him, but 46 is coming too. He has ran 0.3 of a second a lap faster the last couple of laps, and that 46 car is coming.
Yeah, he's got 12-lap pressure tires. And Dallas, one of the, Chase drivers as well, trying to do everything he can to get a good points finish at the end of the season. Came in, within contention to fight for this championship. I think he was, 9th in the standings? Just
He's
about
had
there.
really good starts to the playoffs. Remember last year he got second in the playoff race at Atlanta to, I think it was Adam Cabot at Atlanta. And he did a really good job of being able to hold him off. And Weekly on the outside. I think if Samard could throw it in there, he might get the 7.
And he's going to
throw a slide job.
do just that. Sends it down in to turn number 3. Here comes Weekly with the
7's
run.
Got to run. 77 can't clear. Got to get out of the gas. It's back to the outside. Now the 46 and the 63 are going to be there soon.
Yeah, I think before the end of this race, these guys might be fighting to hang on to the lead lap as well, because Jeff Wright is running about 2 or 3 tenths faster, and he's not far back. Yes, here we go. Samard again down to the inside. Not going to be able to clear this time. Look at Weekly. Big slide off the corner.
Here comes the 46. Big run from Sullivan here. This is all for the battle for 10th on the racetrack. Last car in the top 10. 46 going to maybe try to split the middle here. Here we go.
Yeah, he's going to take it 3 wide.
Samar got loose on the bottom. It's going to give Sullivan probably the spot on the entry into 3 because way too shallow. He slides up, and here comes the 46 to the bottom of the 7.
And move Sullivan up to 11th place, and he's now working on a top 10.
He'll get 10th here.
You got Max Koss with much fresher tires as well in the middle of this.
And Weekly's going to try. I don't think Dallas is going to be able to get by, or is going to be able to get by him here probably into 3 here. Get to the gas sooner. Got better tires, better traction.
And Jeff Wright puts Justin Carey a lap down just behind all this.
There goes Sullivan there to 10th. Although Weekly going to try to get back to the outside. Crosses over inside. No,
there he
gets
goes.
better on there. Now he's there. And I don't think that's probably going to be the end of the battle here off of 2, as long as Dallas doesn't make a mistake. And there goes the 46 up into 10th, and the 7 down to 11th as he catches the wall off of 2. And now here comes his teammate in the 63 of Max Kost to the bottom.
Chris
Fresher
Samard
tires, Brody Hayes.
has brought it to pit lane. Interesting call.
Kind of late, I think, with 10 laps to go.
Yeah, it's going to cost him some time here. It's going to gain a spot for Max Koss, though. So it works out a little bit for the 63. I think it's overall a net gain, his 2-stop strategy. Next car up the road for him would be Timmy Emanuele, about 5.5 seconds in front. But things starting to close up maybe a little bit more here between the 36 and the 24. Adam Cabot not really been able to keep up with Keith Mayato.
As well. Yeah, he's kind of falling off as well. Here, see how much does Weekly fight right here to stay on the lead lap.
Keep an eye on that. Oh, Brody Hayes right there in the mix. 2 laps down. He's able to...
It's cost. So Martin will probably get the fastest lap of the race is my guess. So it was big moment there from Hayes, and here comes Wright to the inside of Weekly. Try to put Weekly a lap down. Weekly, he's the last car on the lead lap, so he's going to try to fight it hard there, although he hits the bumps and goes way up the track and falls a lap.
The only
Justin Carey now has caught up to Caleb Weekly, and those two, another one situation where we've kind of gotten to each other a couple races this year, had a couple feuds, and I don't know if we'll see anything here, but those two got into it. Remember the All-Star race they got into each other? I think it was at Atlanta as well, those two. got into it, and this is going to be the battle for the lead, or the lucky dog, hoping for it. And the caution coming out with 5 laps to go as Costa goes another lap down. But yeah, Kerry running down Weekly a little bit. I don't know if he'll get to him now as the 7 car is falling off the cliff.
Brody Hayes here trying to prevent himself from going 3 laps down after the pit road issue. Hanging
I'm
here,
surprised.
tail end to 2 laps down, 16th position, trying to maintain anything he can.
Otto is caught Turner.
Yeah, this is surprising. I mean, Keith has the tire disadvantage, but he's obviously saved a little better, and Bailey pushed maybe a little too hard on the front end of this run, trying to make up all the ground that he lost after trying to do the overcut.
Oh, cabin in the wall. We go here for Jeff Wright.
Yeah, this race rapidly coming to a close, and Jeff Wright, he's seeing that lead hanging right there at 3 seconds, and I think he's trying to take it easy with all of these cars around him. Does not want to get into any trouble or cause any trouble, but he is still trying to make moves on Brody Hayes, who's running up there alongside the outside wall. Coming back to 3 laps to go for the 48 machine. This would be his 5th win of the season. And what is that, 3 seasons in a row where he would have about 5 wins or more?
Yeah.
So,
all right.
he gets a big slide off turn 2 there in the wake of the 37 machine. So, gotta be careful. I know it's not over yet, but he does not want to be a caution for overstepping here just late in the going.
21 has caught the 7 here and for 11th on the racetrack. Dallas Sullivan will probably be able to hold on to 10th here. He'll be the last car on the lead lap. So see as the 7 and 21 are side by side, and Jeff Wright saying just please keep it clean for another half a lap.
As they're battling for it. These guys take a lot of pride in getting every position they can get here at BTDY, so we'll see how things go. 7 machine up the hill, 21.
Oh, Bailey Turner's in the wall down the backstretch. My auto, they get to the inside. Turner crosses him over. His white flag, one to go for Jeff Wright. I think my auto's going to be able to get Turner here, and that's valuable points being lost here for the 24, as they have crossed the white flag. Be the final lap, and man, what a run, what a dominant performance from the 48 of Jeff Wright.
Yeah, absolutely dominant here. It's led 133 laps, coming back to 134 out of 150. Look at this. Not the way he'd love to finish this thing.
And Weekly spin down the front stretch in front of Seth Axel. And the 21 and the 7 destroyed cars down the front stretch, and I mean, that was one lap sooner. The caution comes out, and the caution and checkered will fly. And Jeff Wright gets the 5th win of the season. Seth Hatchell is 2nd. Bailey, and AJ Stravato is 3rd. Turner lost the spot to Mayato. And these two find each other once again, and both with wrecked race cars again, and
oh man,
battling hard, and a hard hit for Kerry right in front of Seth Hatchell, and Weekly gets the spot barely for 11th, slams the inside wall.
Jeff Wright,
Cornhusker gets done in the Hawkeye State,
as I'm sure he would like it to be. But yeah, 48 machine, 5th win of the season for Jeff Wright. What a year it's been so far for that driver, and man, what a few seasons in a row it's been. This would be going for his 2nd championship, and he's making a statement here tonight at Iowa. Dominating performance. Closest championship competitor going to come home in 2nd. That's Seth Hatchell, and AJ Stravato rounds out the podium here at Iowa. We'll be right back to interview the top 3 after a quick commercial break. back at the racetrack now. Going to be pulling in our third place finisher here tonight. Alec, I believe you are with him.
Yeah, I think you. Well, hold on. I don't know what happened, but I think my Discord might have had an issue, so I don't know if you're gonna have to pull him down for me here, if you don't mind.
That looks like we got him in here. AJ Stravato. This is Adam and Alec in the booth. You got a copy.
I don't know if we have him. So you know, I think you might have to pull him down for me if you don't mind.
Yeah.
Yep, I got you.
All right. There he is.
There we go.
Well, AJ, third place finish here tonight at Iowa. Not quite as close as I'm sure you would have liked it to be there at the end, but you're able to move from ninth and gain those, the valuable positions here throughout the race to end up on the podium. Describe, just running out there tonight and not a lot of cautions to break things up.
Yeah, it was kind of nice to get that caution at the start. I thought we were going to be in a decent spot. I really liked our long run pace, but I want to say we got split up right there because I don't know what the hell happened there on that first and only restart we had, or whoever stayed out. That was just split up the top three from everybody else, and it was just catch up at that point. But we were able to, through long run pace, get up to third and, pit a little bit early and save some tire and get a podium. So at least there was that.
Yeah, definitely a strong run for you here tonight. One of the biggest movers throughout the race. We go to Watkins Glen next week, and Alec, kind of already naming you maybe the favorite for that one. How do you feel about going out there running the road course in Watkins Glen?
I can't lie, I'm just looking forward to running on a road course. It seems like these ovals just are the same story. It's been so hard to pass after a few laps into the run. So I'm looking forward to going out there to Watkins Glen. It's one of my favorite road courses. Hopefully you can get a top three again and hopefully 2 spots better than today.
Yeah, and the Project Valorous and your experience there definitely going to play a big role. You're definitely one of the guys to watch each time we go to a track where you turn left and right. But third place tonight here at Iowa after a very strong race. Anybody you want to give a shout out to?
Just all my teammates and you guys in the booth. It's good to talk to you, Adam. Hope you're doing well. And otherwise than that, just all the league admins and my teammates, Nexus Esports and Project Valorous.
Awesome, AJ. Well, congrats on the great run here and another strong finish as always. Thanks for taking some time here in the booth, and we'll catch you next week at the Glen.
Yes, sir. Good hearing from you, man. Have a good one.
You too. That is AJ Stravato in third place. Looks like we'll be bringing in now second place finisher, and that is going to be Mr. Seth Hatchell. Seth, this is Adam and Alec in the VSPEED booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, you tried the strategy here tonight. You took 2 tires. You got a lot of track position, and it looked like for a while you were going to keep up with that 48 machine, but not quite able to hang with them throughout the long green flag runs. But how did it feel out here tonight at Iowa and to charge through the field like that?
It was exciting. Thankfully we got that first caution, I think 10 laps in or so, and I threw 2 tires on, and I was hoping to get me to the lead because I think it may have won me the race, but got me to third, was able to, I think we had one guy stay out, was able to get to second there on that next run, and then was just, that little bit behind Jeff there for that run, having older left side tires. And then that ultimately forced me to pit a lap earlier for the green flag pit stop, so that put me behind the last run. So I felt like I had really good speed, and I felt like I was at least as quick as Jeff, but a little bit quicker. But sort of just shot myself in the foot with qualifying. Not getting really a time in. Started pretty much last, so got to work on that. But happy to end up second still. It was looking pretty dire at the start of the night. It was really hard to pass. So yeah, happy to get second here tonight.
Yeah, we saw you make up a few spots early, and we were almost thinking it was going to be a repeat of the All-Star race where you came from the back to the front, and you almost did that again here tonight. You end up just 1 spot short. We do go to Watkins Glen next week. Very different challenge than you guys faced here tonight. How do you feel about going out there?
Feel okay. Got to do a lot of practice. Unfortunately for me, the guy I'm racing for points is really good there. He's really good everywhere, but he's really good at the short tracks, or at the road courses. So got to put in a lot of work there, try and close the gap, and hope for really a top 3 finish there. I'd love to race to the win, but realistically, got to work on a top 3 finish there.
And we'll see if you can continue this streak. I mean, you are on a hot streak. You close the gap in points a lot. Tonight you lose a couple to Jeff, but it's definitely, a really hot battle for the championship. We'll see if you can keep that keep that fight alive next week and throughout the rest of this chase. But so far, so good here in the first few races of this season's chase. Anybody you want to give a shout out to for the runner-up finish here tonight at Iowa?
Yeah, I want to thank you guys for doing a great job of the broadcast and the VSPEED brand as a whole. Got to thank all the sponsors of this league, including KHIO, for hopping on board the race night and the car. Got to thank Nick, all the admins doing a great job this league, all the drivers putting on a great race. Congrats to Jeff, by the way, and my team VSPEED.
Awesome, Seth. Well, great to talk to you again here, and good to see you back in the podium once again. But we'll catch you next week at the Glen.
Yes, sir. Thank you, guys.
Thank you. All right, second place finisher, Seth Hatchell, and we're going to go to Victory Lane. Alec, I believe you're standing with our race winner.
I believe I am. Jeff Wright, Alec Martinez, had a Baker, the BC booth buddy. You got a copy?
Yeah, I got you guys.
Well, you started on the pole, and like I said, the Cornhusker won in the Hawkeye State, brother. How does it feel to extend the points lead?
Yeah, it feels really good. We needed this one too, after losing points to all the other chase contenders those first 2 weeks. So we didn't have, terrible finishes. It's just those guys were winning races when, we weren't. So to finally gain some points on these guys, that's huge. The fact that Seth came all the way from the back and still finished second, it's, I was hoping that he'd struggle getting through traffic, but, he made a 2-tire call and somehow made it work. So that's really impressive that he was able to do that. So didn't gain as many points as I was hoping to tonight, but we did everything we could, in our power to come out here and win the race. And thankfully it all played out.
And now next week, road course, yeah, you do have a 9-point advantage going into next week. I will ask, is next week is a road course. It's Watkins Glen. I know it's not Sonoma, so I'm sorry to break that one to you. But how do you feel about going out there and seeing if you can extend that points lead over Seth and Bailey even more?
Yeah, unfortunate, like you said, it's not Sonoma Raceway, so it's going to be a bit of a challenge. Watkins Glen's not a place that I walk into and feel like I can win there. I think we can definitely run top 5, and then also just try not to make mistakes. So I've made some big mistakes at Watkins Glen in the past that have kind of really hurt me in championship hopes. I think last year was one of them. I think we went to Watkins Glen here in BTDY, and I don't know if we had the points lead going in or we're really close, but we come out of there. I finished 25th, and then then it's a battle to the end, and we ended up losing the championship. So just kind of going there, hoping to gain as many points as possible. Obviously, the guys that we're racing are good road course racers. Bailey Turner and AJ Stravato really come to mind as really good at Watkins Glen. So I'm going to imagine they're probably going to be up there. Probably leaving out a few names, but yeah, it's a track I think I can go out and perform. It's just I got to make sure I don't make mistakes like I did last year.
For sure. Well, we appreciate your time, Jeff. Is there anybody you want to give a shout out to for the win?
Yeah, big shout out to the broadcast team. You guys doing a great job up in the booth as always. Obviously, all the sponsors here at BTDY. I appreciate all they do. All the admins for all they do putting these events on. And then got to give a shout out to my 2 biggest fans tonight. So that'd be Grandma Weekly, Kayla's grandma, and Noah's girlfriend. So got to shout them out. They were pulling for me tonight. Unfortunate for Noah, he was really fast tonight, qualified really well, and I think he got caught up in something. Otherwise, I think he definitely would have been somebody to be up here in the top 5 and maybe compete for a win as well. So unfortunate for him, but yeah, I think I covered everybody else, and yeah, moving on to Watkins Glen.
Well, big shout out to them, brother. Well, we appreciate your time, Jeff. Again, congratulations on the win, and we'll see you next week out at the Glen.
All right, sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you. That is Jeff Wright, the winner of tonight's race here at Watkins Glen. And how about we take a look at our finishing results as Jeff 134 laps led.
Yeah.
Starts on the pole and wins it.
Incredible.
7 lead changes.
Yeah, and you said he won at Watkins Glen. He hasn't won there yet. You just
Oh, sorry.
We're still in Iowa for now, but
where are we, Bill? In the great words of Wally Dallenbach. But yes, at Iowa.
I'm at the wrong track.
Man, if there's 134 laps in Watkins Glen, that'd be unfortunate for a Cup car or an Xfinity car. I know 6 hours they do that, no problem.
Yeah.
So.
What a race.
Jeff Wright. Yeah, Jeff Wright, your winner. And how about Seth Hatchell stealing, like Jeff said, from 19th to 2nd? This guy continues to be on a hot streak, and his worst finish in the last 2 weeks is second, or in the last 4 weeks is second. So think about that for Seth Hatchell. AJ Stravato rebounds with the 3rd place finish. Keith Mayato is 4th. Bailey Turner is 5th. Adam Cabot is 6th. 7th, Angelo Ronas. Ray Massey comes home 8th. How about Cody Atkins 9th? And Dallas Sullivan a top 10.
And he'll be the last car in the lead lap. Caleb Weekly finishes in the 11th position. 12th tonight was Justin Carey. 13th, Timmy Emanuele. 14th, Max Cost after the 2-pit strategy. Chris Simard also on that same strategy ends up in the 15th spot. Brody Hayes comes home in 16th. Nathaniel Ostrowski finishes 17th. Noah Mikowski in 18th. Alan Dice 19th. Todd Giles Jr. comes home in the 20th position. And rounding out the field tonight, Dennis Faircloth with the early incident there. He'll come home in the 21st position. But just taking a look at the points going into next week, it's 11 points between Jeff Wright and Seth Hatchell headed into Watkins Glen. And then the battle for 13th in the standings is about 18 points. Cody Adkins with that advantage at the moment. So definitely a lot of storylines to watch as we go through the rest of this chase. But what a race tonight at Iowa, and what a statement by that 48 machine with his fifth victory of the season. Alec, pleasure as always. Any closing words
please.
before we...
Pleasure's mine.
Any final words before we head on out of here and head up to upstate New York next week?
Well, it's your home track, man, but I'm looking forward to it, and I think it's going to be good. We are at we're at a diverse couple of racetracks left before we get to the championship and out in Southern California at Auto Club, and that's we got Watkins Glen Road Course, Martinsville the week after, then Las Vegas, Bristol, and Auto Club. So a couple races out west, a couple races out east, and it's going to be very interesting to see all way different racetracks than each other. Watkins a road course, Martinsville the paperclip as they say, and then Vegas a mile and a half, Bristol the concrete half mile, and then Auto Club the 2 miles. So that's going to be very interesting. 5 different racetracks. I'm looking forward to it, and man, it's going to be a heck of a few weeks. And Hatchell and Wright and Turner. That's what it's looking like right now for the championship.
And that's similar to what it's been here the last few seasons. Seth not running as many races last year, so he wasn't really in the fight for the championship. But we've seen Bailey Turner and Jeff Wright go head to head. In previous seasons, we've seen Seth right up there in the mix year after year, fighting for championships. And it is going to come down to the very end here. So you won't want to miss any of the races for the next 5 weeks. We will be right here on Tuesday nights on VSPEED. We do thank you for joining us here tonight. Make sure to like, share, subscribe. We will catch you all at Watkins Glen.